by the lien holder or mortgagee. 2, within an additional 30 days, if the owner does not comply, we further find that if the building is not repaired within that time, that there is no reasonable probability that the building will be repaired within a reasonable period of time, and if additional time is given.
I think we're off on the wrong one.
If you'll rescind that, if you'll, are you rescinding that?
I'll rescind that.
I move the city council find that the building located at 5217 Barber Road, based on evidence presented at the hearing, is substandard, and that the conditions set forth in the building officials report exist to the extent that the life, health, property, or safety of the public and occupants of the buildings, if applicable, are endangered, and that the building is feasible of repair, and therefore order that the building be repaired by the owner within 180 days, and the lien holder or mortgagee to within an additional 30 days if the owner does not comply, and the board from the hearing has accepted the detailed plan and time schedule for the work as presented during the hearing, as attested by the building inspector and official by the owner, lien holder, or mortgagee, and the contents of that plan will be included with this order, and order that the building be repaired in conformance with the requirements of section 3.07.004 of the River Oaks Code of Ordinances 2006 as amended, or demolished by the owner and the debris removed within 180 days, or by the lien holder or mortgagee to within an additional 30 days if the owner does not comply, and further find that if the building is not repaired within 180 days, that there is no reasonable probability the building will be repaired within a reasonable period of time if additional time is given. If the building is not repaired within 180 days in full conformance with section 3.07.004 of the River Oaks Code of Ordinances 2006, or the additional 30 days, the building shall be demolished. Further order that the substandard fee of $150 be paid upon permit issuance. Certificate of occupancy will not be final until all substandard fees are paid in full, and further order that there be 2-week progress checks with the city staff.
Second.
You have to repeat it in order to say motion made and second. Any other discussion?
You get this fixed. He won't have to read that.
That's a lot of words. That's a lot of scary words. Get to work.
Get to work.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 16, public hearing, convening in order to receive public input on substandard building enforcement action regarding structures located on property at 1605 DL Street.
We want to leave this hearing open. We've had no contact from 1605 at this point,
But what did she tell us last week?
that they're in the process of selling it.
They're going to go through legal paperwork to find it.
Then,
If we don't get an order in, is that going to be a problem? If we don't get some kind of order in with it?
Before they
don't
sell
sell
it,
Go to closing?
we can do an order, yes.
I would suggest we think about it.
Item number 17, action with public hearing. Consider council orders on the property 1605 Grove Street that may include securing, vacating, occupants, removal, repairing, or demolition of structures, or adoption of resolution employing a federal agency to abate all substandard violations in order to be brought into compliance with section 3.07.004 of the River Oaks Code of Ordinances 2006 as amended.
Mayor, the only thing we might want to think about if we want to reopen the public hearing would be that with this one, we haven't had evidence presented or heard from a property owner during the public hearing. So I think we need to hear probably from staff either during the public hearing or now. I mean, we can hear from that now.
Well, I was going to add that I don't think we've officially closed the public hearing, with the announcement, and I think before we close it, maybe we should consider if we want to extend it or not. So are we going to, in the last meeting, we continued the public hearing, so rather than ending it, we continued it until the next meeting. I think before we close it, we need to decide are we going to continue this meeting or not, or the public hearing. If not, I do think it would be a good idea to take.
Well, I think we're going with action. The action we give tonight is for the code. The building inspector bring us evidence next week, and then we can make the decision at that time.
That works out for me too.
Because I've or actually closed the public hearing, I could reopen it, but again, we're doing another action, the action taken is to direct the building official to bring us the evidence next week.
If we did that, we need to open the public hearing, but they need to hold it open again. Just leave it open.
We're going back to item number 16, and we're gonna, rescind the public hearing, and this public hearing will continue until,
February 25th at 7 p.m.
February 25th, 7 p.m. here in this chamber.
And then at that one, if they're here, they're great, and if not, we'll have the report, have some evidence, so I'll walk through it all, make it work. That works for everybody.
Item number 18, Marvin.
That would be me. February 22nd, Saturday, 8 o'clock, council work session. I'm sure everybody's on board with that. If you have any items that you want specifically brought, I'd like for you to email them to me. I have a list of things that already are on there, but, some of the things y'all have already directed me to look at in the work session.
Is that gonna be here or next door?
I can have it either way.
I just assumed here, I think the last one was public works, so that's why I was asking.
Well, I think we have the community center.
Oh, yeah, we did
The
that.
auditor is supposed to give reports at the next meeting, so he should be pretty much finished.
Will he be done by then, Marvin?
He's saying he's gonna be done. I don't know.
Either here or down there, or either one.
Y'all just tell me.
Well, the last
Have it here, if he's not done, have it here in this chamber.
The last
Yeah, that's what I was
time
thinking.
Years because court had something going on in the chamber.
Yeah, so here works fine for me, that's where we have
8 o'clock?
most of them.
8 o'clock.
But if you
I'll
do
verify
the
with the board.
address and want to have it in the library, I mean, next door, when we put the address, don't specify which building.
Second thing I have is, I believe Paula has, made a selection on filling the open position in city administration. Do you wanna talk about that?
Well, nothing's official yet.
You sent me the physical and everything, but you have made a selection.
Yeah, but it's pending that.
Also, the Texas Excavation Safety System has asked if the council's interested in voting on their nominating committee. I don't, y'all haven't in the past, don't know if you want to now.
The what?
Their nominating committee for their board.
What?
You wanna take a look at
For who?
Excavation safety.
It's the locate system.
Oh, okay.
Big test?
Who's on first?
I don't have it on the agenda tonight to do, but if y'all are interested, I'll bring it back.
I don't really, we don't know anything about them, so I mean, unless somebody wants to show up and,
Dig Tech, the Public Works,
right, I don't have any
Y'all deal with them that
input
much?
on that.
Every day.
every day.
Well, I mean, but
But you don't know, but I mean,
These
all
people.
have any, so I have no preference on
You're not agreeing with that.
it. Be part of it. Right.
Okay. We did meet with Tarrant County, this week, Councilman Chisholm with me, about Tarrant County participation. Dan wants to elaborate on that fine, but I can tell you it was a very positive meeting.
Lisa seemed to be, on board with it, Trent laid it out for her. And, what was surprising is she thought that even the, college would not, be a part of that, which normally they're not, but she thinks it's, them and the hospital district and the county would be, players in that as well. Mainly because of the economic, situation we have in the city, that it's a lot easier to sell it in this area than it is in South Lake or Grapevine or someplace like that. And that, she seemed very positive to it, and